Hello, 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 and welcome to a quick, pretty quick, live session with me, Wingless Dragon. Hope everyone's doing well this week. I was talking with a few people. I was getting chatty. I was explaining some of the stuff that I was researching, and I just kind of had to just go live at this point, because, well, AFK. Because a lot of the points that I was talking to them about is pretty much what I've been leading up to, look from everything that I've looked into, and I just really want to break it down today, and just talk about a lot of the good things, but also the not so good things that, I've personally been seeing as of on each season. Thorad, this is sort of your fault. We were chatting on on the server, and it's not. I've had sort of this planned. This is sort of the ongoing thing that I was looking into for a while, but I'm just really wanting to get this discussion out more focused at this point, and kind of go and break down kind of the things that I've seen and going from there. So without further ado, let's go over all the stuff that I've seen. You'll see behind me I've switched up the setup a little bit for the drops, but yeah, there's so much to still talk about. I am going to lower the music just a tad. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that you guys will enjoy it. Please ask questions. If you're confused about stuff, just let me know. This is the reason I've been doing live stuff, and not at all because I'm too lazy to do editing at the moment, but it's also because I'm too lazy to do editing at the moment. But I also want to have this chance to talk to people and really get the discussion rolling. And so this is what I've been working on. So no surprise at all to anyone, I've been checking out the various things in regards to how the spawners are working this season, how the mobs are working this season, how the farms are working this season. There's undead right there. Woo! So how the farmings and how's that been working. Last live session I explained how the new methods that they've implemented, the mastery and the enchanted stuff, how's that working. I've also been looking at the ore generation and made a giant, long, 2-length stretched ore cobblestone generator just to see the balance, to see how that's worked out. And I've gone so far as to have not only have a fully a full soul's sword. Oh, and the runes, yes, that's also going to be something to talk about. So then there's the soul sword as well, and I've been working on a pickaxe with shard collector. TLDR, don't even touch shard collector, and I'll explain why immensely soon. And so yeah, it's just a lot of discussion, and this stems pretty much since a lot of the balance things that's been happening for a while with the server. And just for clarity's sake, just so that I can get this guy unstuck, because he keeps getting stuck now, because for some reason... Okay, there we go. I keep selling my dirt that I keep using to replace these guys. They just get stuck no matter what. I've tried every thing. They'll work and then not work sometimes. So, but yeah, if you have any questions about what I've been doing, again, don't hesitate. But right now, this season, the meta has been farmers. and I'll even show you like how much you make out of this. By the way, we're ranked number 2 at the moment. So this is not coming from someone who has like, oh, rank number 172 and this is the meta, or rank 155 and like this is what you should like. Excluding Ernie's Island, we're basically the highest, and we keep trading blows right now from like top 5 essentially. So yeah, this is coming from lots of work, lots of experience, lots of knowledge. IS Vault, as usual, you really want to have a sell one available. I'll showcase the ore at some point. Here's my epic stray that's for mining. I'll explain that one. I'm actually looking to get the next level of this, and I'll explain why. It's from past seasons, but essentially it's still not worth it. Boosters are always good, especially when you have the credit boosters, but this is why the farming one is extremely great. Boom, 166. 166, 166, 166, 166, 166, 166, 101. So I'm already at 1.3 billion. This is a whole stack of tier 4, 10 of them. That gets me 124. It can go a little bit higher when it's maxed. And then these are just tier 3 ones, and only 30 million. So grinders have completely gotten decimated. And then for those that are wondering why I go always back to the hub, this resets your booster, so you don't lose it completely. Yeah, so last season and the season before that, the way that you were making bank was grinders. Grinders were the way to go. Nothing has changed with the grinders. I repeat, they have done absolutely nothing to the grinders. What they have done... why are you stuck? Anyway, what they've done is they've changed the spawners again. And the spawners would be fine with the grinders. And I deleted my island one day on accident and then had my free farm. Oh no. Okay. So they've changed the way that spawners are set up. You know what? I don't hate the way that they have it set up. You can only have 10. That's fine. But as we showcased before, and I could do it really quickly again with the ones that are in here. Let's just do sheeps. Sheep, blaze, sheep. Okay. You put... Where's the 1? No, okay. That's a spawner of 10. If you have... It'll be double this, the drop for sheeps. You remove just 1, though, from 100, and it's 456. If you remove and you go down to just the 1, the base one is 450. So if I put... If you take a look at it, it'll only duplicate when it gets to 100. And the next step is 200 as well. Let's do that as well. Let's add 200. Well, now it's duplicated again. But if you remove just 1 spawner, it goes pretty much to what it is. So that's the current issue. And I had reported it, but they're saying, yeah, no, it's working as designed, or there's stuff that they're looking into, whatever. But currently, this makes a huge discrepancy because you need to buy 100 more spawners at whatever its cost just to double the speed of that. Okay, so that's sort of the balance issue that's happening there. And then, like, just add as many as you do. It doesn't matter. If you remove every... I think it's like every 100... okay, it's at some point it goes to 200, but it starts slowing down and it doesn't become effective anymore. And that's sort of the problem that's going on with the system right now. And I'm gonna have a fun time getting that. So the spawners right now have changed dramatically from before. Last season they had like you could only have a limit of spawners in general. Okay, well you sheeps can stay there for now. And so this is the issue that we have this season, is that there's a spawning limit on a spawning thing. Hey, Kevin Council. So there's a spawning difference with regards to what's happening, and you can only have up to 10 of these as you go on. Okay, well, it's going to cost so much. Okay, remember, like, let's just go with the most expensive one, Zoglings. This is supposed to be worth the most, aside when they're not stuck all the time in the spawner. So you've got this, and there's a reason there's a stack of 10, because if you put all these 10 together, as we just showed with the sheep, it does absolutely nothing with the level of spawning. And that's the information that's being displayed. So from the ticket that I had entered, it looks like the information that's displayed, there's like a discrepancy with it from what I was told. And so the discrepancy is that, oh no, it should work fine. Unfortunately, I've tested it. You stack them, and they just do not spawn at the same rate. You stack 10 to 1, the difference is still there. So there's a bit of like spawning problems that are happening right now with that. Fine, that's not a problem. Let's get to the mastery now. You have the mastery stuff, which is great. This is actually a really awesome system. I love it. I'm glad they brought this out. I think that this is a somewhat better system than the skill system, except for the fact that the skill system at least gave extra items and stuff for people, but that's not happening this time around. Needless to say, it'll increase stuff, it'll multiply stuff, you'll get more sales, stuff like that when you've mastered that. So, Kevin Council behind me. So you've got that going on with the spawners. This is also the case for any items any items that you have as well that you can master. So cocoa beans, nether warts, sugar cane, loads and loads of carrots. And like I've shown in the last, it can be inconsistent with the amount of funds that you get when you combine it. Once again, don't get me wrong, the condensed one, love the idea. I think that's great. It gets annoying where you're trying to farm and you're trying to get all that stuff, and you would think that it'd be much better. It would be like, cool, I can now farm. If I want to do something different, I can farm, make that into money, and move forward. No. And I've showcased this. Basically, you can, I'm just going to visualize it a little bit more, and I can show it really quickly. But if I use my enchanted hoe, which is a fantastic tool when it's working, like when you're able to use it, it does all the farm, it picks all the stuff up, it gets into the collection boxes. That's great. The collection boxes have become much more expensive, but sure, let's just say that I think the price of the collection box is not the problem. I think they could have that price and it's not a big deal, but it's just that it doesn't store as much and it costs significant amount just to sometimes duplicate, double the size, sometimes just a little less. And that's sort of a bit of the issue here. It doesn't tell you what the next one is, and once you spend it, it's quite a bit. I think do I have this at 4 or is this 3 as well? So 3. So level 3 is 5,000. Level 2 is 2,500, if I'm not mistaken. That's a level 3. Are these all level 3s? I think they might be all level 3s. Yeah, they're all level 3s. Yeah, they're all level 3s. Anyway, so you end up having all of these being picked up, you combine them, and they end up not, like, they sell more, but you're talking about in the million, like just a million or two when you end up selling it. And you could farm this over and over again, and it will just not outbeat a farmer still. And so that's basically the big balance things. Nothing farming wise is worth it. You get the obsidian farmer to do the cocoa beans. Cocoa beans being the max amount for that. For them to mine, it gets the most, and you still can't get as much. You could set this all up for cocoa beans, find a way to pick them up all at the same, if not faster than them, and it's still, you're maybe gonna make 20, I think it's like 25 more than the carrots. Carrots are 75, cocoa beans are 100. So let's just go crops, cocoa beans 100 for selling, carrots 75. So confirmed. So that's sort of the problem with that, is there's a bit of discrepancy where, well, there's not much of a worth to make these farms. Okay, that's fine. What else is the discrepancy? Well, there is currently 2 economies, and there used to be 3. So seasons ago, you had Kevin. You could just you can hold on to it. That's fine, or just put it in the vault. So what you can do is end up having so much discrepancies with the economy. So for several seasons, you had experience, you had shards, you had credits. And so people would grind for the experience to do the enchantments, to then sell that for credits, to level up, to then have their stuff moving forward. And the shards were designed just for upgrading. You'd upgrade your robots, you'd upgrade your spawners. Shards were used for upgrades on what tools that you had. And then the enchantments would be for the tools, the robots and the generators and stuff like that, to upgrade the CPUs. And then you had the collection boxes, not collection boxes. You had the experience that was for tools. So you had like your axes, your swords, your farming hoe. Those would be used for the usages of what it is that you were going to get for that. They then eventually removed the eco for enchantments. Genius. Absolutely. Waylon Lee, hi. And the thing is, the shards is now, so it's just a dual economy now, and actually, that was a smart move. Absolutely a smart move. I totally am on board with shards being a premium currency for enchantments and upgrades, and then having credits specifically for the island. What they had also done is that credits were no longer tradable. As those of this season have realized, that has been reopened now. But it hasn't been as big of an impact as I expected. But that's because they don't have the eco, the same eco as the experience before. And so credit trading is sort of useful, but it also sort of isn't as well. It's those that can make loads of it are able to get rid of it and trade it for shards, or even trade it for coins, gold coins, which is the absolute premium currency. But for the Skyblock Sun, you've got shards that is now pretty much the top tier currency, and then credits is just for upgrading the island. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. So you'll notice that I'm saying things are fine. The setup that they have is fine. The placement of the stuff is fine. The balance of the things are where there's the problem. Currently, there is only really one way of getting shards. And that's one of the bigger problems right now. You want to get shards? Well, there's only one way to do it. I'm going to pick you up. Yeah, you're fine. I'll put you here. There's one way to get shards. I'm going to pick this guy and just start thwapping. That's it. You'll see that I get shards from that. You'll see. That guy's too far away. So, wait, where's the sheep? Yeah, there we go. So, and you'll see that I'm getting pretty much a good amount of shards. You get about, like, I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you're getting about like 10 hits or so. You're getting about 100 to 150 at a maxed sword. A maxed soul sword is 500,000 shards. So it takes a while, but as soon as you put one soul enchantment onto a sword, you're still getting shards at a reasonable rate. And so, but you can see how the number is going pretty high. And then what you could do is have a booster. Let's put in, let's just put a 1.4. And then you'll see that that's kind of doubling into the 200s. It's going a lot higher at the moment. So you're seeing that, and this is a maxed out soul sword, right? You're seeing that that's getting a lot. So this is fine. That's the, I should just finish off the sheeps now. Okay, goodbye. So that's reasonable. Let's fix the sword. I'll put it away. Cool. I can put the robot back as well. Boop. So you've got the soul sword that is working and that's getting you shards, and it's at a reasonable rate, right? So it's not that big of a deal in that regards. But is there other ways to get shards? Yes, but not at a balanced rate. So right now, I have... I'm going to drop the meat. I've got a shard collector 100. This goes up to... If you check it out, this goes to... Where's shard collector? 300. So if I want to upgrade it higher... So if I want to upgrade it 10 more, it's 50,000. If I'm looking to try to get another 100, I'm 750,000. I've already spent about 250 to 300,000 shards to get where I'm at 102. To get another 100, I'm looking at almost 1 million. And if I get another one to get to 300, you're looking at about 3 million-ish shards for the pickaxe. Okay. Must be awesome, right? The shard collector enchantment is going to be amazing, right? I don't know. Let's check. Hi, Niku. So let's check it out, and I'm gonna do this without a pet, but I'll do I'll launch the pet afterwards as well, just to give you an idea. The pet has nothing additional. What I could get is a mythical where it has lucky mining, and that will give a certain amount that'll provide me extra shards, but not early on. I want to do this before the booster runs out, but let's just go and use a shard collector. You're currently seeing how my shard collecting is very slow. Oh, it's at 0.81. Anytime now. And this is with the booster, by the way. Oh, 82. Now, anyone who has a soul sword of 30 will know that this goes a lot faster even at 30. And you would have spent a lot less shards and wouldn't have had a booster on. You are barely making any of it, and it's costing you astronomically more to try to get shard collector on, and it is just not beneficial. Now let's just spawn the pet. It has mining skill, miner's touch, or obliterator and blacksmith, which just helps with fixing stuff. Oh, nice, you won the lottery. Nice. Yeah, I can see it right now. Haha. Nice. Okay, so now we have the pet, which is helping getting a few more additional ore, and it's not really doing much for the shards again. So I've got a mining pet, that's not really adding. Okay, fair enough. You know what? The pets, they're there more to get the ore. They're there more to get the resources from it. So it's getting you more opportunities and more chances. You're probably wondering where all the ores are right now. Well, I have ore hoppers just outside of the mining length of all this. So that's what that's what most of it's being picked up. But ore hoppers can sometimes, like, once they're full of too many items, it'll sometimes just drop randomly on the side. Okay, that's fine. We can see clearly that I've got a few items here. Not so much at the start, that's fine. But here you've got a bit more. Okay, that's cool. You got these guys. Great. Alright, you know what? IS Vault. Let's sell them. I'm assuming I've gotten quite a bit of money at this point, right? I'm not going to put a booster on for... Actually, you know what? I'm going to waste a booster. Maybe not a huge one, but let's just go with... yeah, you know what? 2 times booster. 10 minutes. Why not? Sell this. I've made 512. Okay, no, that was the first one. That's fair. 6,000. Okay. 6,000. So so you've made a point, Thorad. The pick might be okay when maxed out. I'll do it for you. I will show it at some point. I already know the answer. The answer is no. The answer is it's not worth it. You're going to spend millions, several millions, to upgrade an enchantment that is nowhere near balanced to the sword. And I'll tell you why. And there's a reason for it. I'll explain fully. Yes, that's a netherite beacon. I was getting them from the miners. Why not? Cool. So, why has the shard collector stopped working effectively? You think they will buff the pickaxe or nerf the sword, or you think that they will let it be this way? So here's the thing. Season 4 or 5, it's quite a bit ago. Shard collector was beast. You were making so much out of it, it was ridiculous. It broke the economy. But remember that this is during a time where credits were able to be traded, experience was still tradable, and so people were just able to grind the crunk out of it, upgrade their robots easily, upgrade all the stuff easily, and people were getting like high enough really fast, and they were maxing out easily. You would end the season with several people reaching 500. And it was just basically who reached 500 first. So I totally understand all of the balance things that they've done. So what did they end up doing? They brought down around season 5 or 6. They brought down the shard collecting capabilities. And they ended up introducing the sword with souls. So souls became a sort of... You could do shard collecting, but it's nerfed, or you could do souls. I think that was fine. They did the balance mid-season of one of the seasons when it was broken, and that kind of unbalanced. It didn't make things fair, but next season it was okay. They still had, and I think that's when they started introducing they removed experience and they made it so that shards. People only reach 500 because of the glitch with credit pouches. Closes legit was like, yeah, no, like you had several people that were still at 500, but most people were like at 400, 300 on the top tier. So, but you had a lot more people doing a lot of things at that point. So yeah, Nico, you're kind of right. So what's happening right now is that they're making it so there's only really one way of getting shards. And that's sort of the problem, is that the sword and souls is the only way to really get shards. Yes, you could go to the dungeons. Yes, you could go to the other areas and stuff like that. But you end up not really having much of a balance on that. And then what do? Well, okay, I guess I'm going to go on Skyblock Sun, and I'm going to go mine shards for a while. Oh, maybe a boss is going to come up. I'll go fight the boss, hopefully get some shards. But then the equivalent of the shards that I get from the boss drops if I have everything perfect with my perfect gear and my perfect everything. I could have just stayed and kept grinding shards on the mobs. By the way, doesn't matter which mob you grind. You could grind sheeps, you can grind blaze, you can grind... The only reason blaze was effective before is because you got the most experience out of that. But once they removed it and you only got shards out of it, and they balanced it out. Well, balanced. They just made it so that every time the soul sword hits a mob, you get that equivalent. You don't get more out of any of the other ones. I've tested it out at least for most of the mobs. They all do the same. If someone can tell me otherwise, let me know, and I'll test it out real quick. But I've tried it even with the Zoglings, and I get the same amount as I would if I use the Souls 100 on a sheep. So that's the balance issue that happened there. And then Finster was like, cool, just use this enchanted farming pet and just farm while you're using this pet when you've got lucky farming, and you got loads of shards. That was cool. As soon as this video came out, and I had made a video about how the mining pet was helpful at the time, I was blanket stating that was helping out. Before I ended up releasing the video, I tested it out myself. They had already fixed Finster's mistake. And, well, not even mistake, but the shard collecting method that was demonstrated there. So as soon as Finster had released the video and explained it, they had already nerfed the pet, and you ended up getting absolutely little to nothing with lucky farming. So now you had farming that was nerfed in getting shards. You have ores that are being nerfed in getting shards. So the only one that you have left is just grinding mobs over and over again. So you're stuck here having your other stuck things getting stuck all the time, because stucked. Get. And so you ended up having just so much of that balance happening, the balance problem happening with what was being messed up. So the shard booster to 18 from blazes and I'll have to check, but I maybe. Oh, you know what, Oliver? It's possible that the booster. I haven't looked into it with the booster, so maybe that's a factor. So you know what? Maybe I'm wrong in that regards, and that there is possibly a thing with Blaze and Skellies and stuff like that. But your Wither Skeletons at this point, you would most likely want your grinder to start working on them more than you would your thing. So it makes sense that you would go after your Blaze for that. So for the most part, I would say just still stick with a Blaze. It's not expensive, it's not that bad, but overall it doesn't make, at least I haven't seen a big difference. But the fact of the matter is, it still comes down. Oh, you're gonna be too fat to go into the hole, are you? You fat magma cube. There you go. Okay. So that's the current situation right now. But yeah, I just use Blaze for the most part anyway. But that's been the thing. I don't know this map, but last map, if you had 3 block gap between spawners, spawns were more effective, more spawns. Yeah, no, not this season. They've changed the spawners completely. Completely. And that's why, and I showed it earlier, but like, you need a stack of 1, then 100, then 200, then 300, then 500. And to get that many of stacks, especially when each spawner individually is like in the billions, and it's only going to get you a little bit, it's just not worth it. And of course you're spawned back here. So yeah, there's still some like spawny issues stuff. I probably should put something on top of there, but that's fine. I'm not too worried really at that point. All right. So that's more or less what's happening right now. You've got the balance issues with shards. Shards, the economy for the shards, I think, is where we're having a lot of difficulty at the moment, because you're only able to get shards in a very limited fashion, and you're not able to get them as effective unless you are getting a soul sword, and then that's it. So that's a bit of the problem that we've got right now at the moment. They've removed skills. So a lot of times when you were getting pouches, when you were upgrading, when you were able to get to the next tier, that was sort of giving a little bit, but not by much. But I do like the mastery system, and I think that's a genius idea. Here's the other thing that they've made more difficult, and it's not so much the problem, but it's more the fact that they've put something in place and it didn't end up working as well as it should have. Last season, they introduced the new miner system. New miners, they're back. Well, it's sort of an old system, but they added so that they have a little bit of an ability. They can mine faster and stuff like that. But because all of the ores are so hard to gather, well, it's really hard to get them to really turn a profit. So miners are almost just as bad as having a lumberjack at this point. There's a reason why if I go to auction house, what's the guys that are being sold the most? Lumberjack, miner. Oh, there's a few farmers. That's impressive. So you've got some people finally letting go some farmers, but then miner, grinders. Even people are not even caring about grinders. Miners, farmers are rare, but what you can see how expensive they are. So you end up having lumberjacks. There you go. Lumberjacks are super inexpensive, and just so that you're aware, mastery, I tested out the farmer. I've maxed out the tiers for it, and let me tell you, you don't get much. Even when you combine and enchant it and have the 2.5 multiplier, it's still kind of meh. What's your best advice for me to get my farmer count up? Because as of right now, I have one iron farmer unlucky. Save shards for them? Yikes. It's so hard because I want to max my sword at 50 souls. Yeah, so currently right now, what's going on is that your island has reached tier 2 with Wither. Oh, my robots are helping out. Nice. Good job. Good job, robot. You actually leveled it up to tier 2. Woo. Okay. Yes, get a soul sword maxed out. It was actually one of the first things. It's essentially one of the first things you want to do every season since season 5. You get a soul sword, you max it out, you get going. So you get that. Even at Souls 1, you're going to start getting shards sort of immediately with whatever mobs you have. And you already get a few mobs immediately from the get-go, and if you do the quests as well, which by the way I've completed them all finally, I'm gonna make a video about those. I already did up to Wither skeletons, diamond ore. Okay, so yeah, you can end up getting some robots from the quest. This is great. That's the free one. You can end up getting spawners as well. You'll get like an endermite spawner at some point, which is a tier 4. Sure, why not? Like it's more mobs to drop. And then if you go to shop, you can get the sheeps for fairly cheap. Or pandas. I just didn't get pandas because I hate killing them. Pigs, meh. The only reason I got sheeps, and they're 2.5 million, as opposed to the pandas, which are 1 million. I ended up just getting Sheeps because they were colorful. So like when you kill them, you'll sometimes get the gray, the white. Sometimes you'll get a pink one, a colored one. But it was just more fun to watch that than thwapping the other ones. But yeah, you end up getting that. Get that for your souls. Get that for your shards, and then move forward with the next one. Ultimate B is asking, how do you do the diamond ore quest? Very slowly. And here's the problem. Here's another sort of balance problem that's going on. IS level. Or you could talk to your level NPC. We've removed ours. But you'll have the ore generation tier. We're now at tier 10 at level 180 for our island. Remember, I'm ranked number 2 currently. If I check IS top, you've got Ernie at 242. I'm at 180. Angry Gnome is at 176. Corky Cat 174, and so on. So the top 10 up to Nebula is 144. Let's go back to the levels. If you go to let's just go to 140. 140 gets you to tier 8. And essentially you need to level up your island to end up getting the ore generations to start working so that you can have them out there. There's 2 diamond ores on your IS. I like deleted my island and make a new one, but I had fortune on my pick still. Did it like 25 times. Yeah, okay, but if someone's already built a whole island, they're not going to restart. But I mean, at least that's it's a very interesting workaround. I do remember the old PvE area had diamonds in a few spots. They had emeralds as well. So you were able to mine those, but not anymore. Like, so here's my assumption. This implementation was supposed to be in line with the old mining system of 2 seasons ago. It's the only way that it makes a little bit more sense, because you would have already mined out the free diamonds that were in the island for free, and you got like about 20 of those off of that. PvE had a few spare ones that you could go find, so you could mine them over and over again there. And then the ore generation was a little bit better. At least it felt like it was, but it still was slow to get. I just feel like if this was designed for the new ore generation, it is absolutely way too hard. If you look at diamond ore, I have a 0.35% chance of getting it. Cobblestone is way too high at 80. And I get it, you don't want it to be too advantageous. But the thing is ores, no one's making money off of ores. At all. So ores are just being a bottleneck. Or it doesn't do anything. The only reason you're doing any of the cobblestone stuff is because it's part of the quest. Well, let's check the quest. How many quests are there in regards to cobblestone? So you've got the first one, so 1, 2, so 350. Is there more? Yeah, 3. The last quest that you have to do is more cobblestone. Oh wow, is that really, that's all it is? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there you go. 10 quests. Yippee-doo. The only reason you're needing to do any of the ore stuff is because of the quests. And that lies another one of my issues, is that the quests are outdated from an old system from like season 3 or like almost the first season that I played, where you had your miner robots and your cobblestone generator more of a need than you did before. Obviously, people were doing other ways to make money and sell them, And the sell wands became more of a thing later on, as opposed to the balance method that they do it now. But you ended up having crop hoppers. You would have them near crops. You would break your crops, and you had more farming that you were doing than you were. But you would get your robots to do the ore stuff, and you would be able to sell that, and that would give you some credits, and it would work out. Was there still balance issues then? Of course there was. And I'm not removing that at all. And I'm not saying that the implementation that they've been doing hasn't been good or bad or whatever. Like, there's a reason for them and it makes sense. But there's still a huge fault with the fact that all of the quests stem from original quests from a long time ago. Like, no one, you could buy cobblestone. Most of the time, no one makes a generator. They'll buy 50, they'll mine it. If you've set up a system like mine, you could just get rid of all of them, because the minute that you've done 5,000, 10,000 cobblestone, you just have to mine one more, and it'll trigger the quest out of the way already. Go to the other farming stuff, and it's like, oh, cool, wheat and nether warts and stuff. Cool. If not for the fact that we now have nether skeleton spawners and wither spawners, those quests would have been a problem as well. But it just seems weird that there's... Okay, you have to get 35 skeletons. Yeah, it's telling you to go to head into PvE world and harvest fuel from the killing skeletons. Incorrect. You're not there to get fuel from them. It tells you, if that was the case, why isn't the quest pick up fuel? I know why, but still, it's just it could have been rewritten. Suffice to say, the quests need an overhaul. I think that's less of a balance issue and just more of, let's update those to meet with the times. Now, speaking of with the times, let's talk about what they had implemented, and I was so disappointed that this never became a bigger thing, and it's the auto crafting. Can someone tell me who's using an auto crafter this season? Anyone? Please? No, seriously. Tell me someone is using an auto crafter this season. Tell me that it's worth it. Because if I go to Auction House right now, all I see is every same auto crafter. Chucky, yeah, thanks. Every auto crafter, all of them, no longer makes sense with the new spawner system. They've kept the same designs, the same builds, the same stuff from before. No one's going to go and get gold from their mine to then put it in a box to then have it automatic do it without some sort of value, and the value is just not there. They now have the condense wand. So they've basically made a brand new system and immediately made it so that it's no longer useful anymore. And that's a huge disappointment. I loved the idea of the CBU recipes. I was looking forward. I was under the assumption they change it up every season. You'd have a bit of a CBU that's more for farming, a CBU recipe for mining, a CBU recipe for mobs, and it just right out the window. Let's leave it there, not do anything with it. Introduce condense wands. Sweet. You know what else they introduced that is absolutely smelting wands? Same thing. Anyone using a smelting wand, anyone who's won it on a royal crate key or any of the any, because like if you guys want one, I'll give it to you. Where are they? Smelter wands. Wandy. Someone's not spelling. Anyway, got loads of them. Loads of uses. I will show you how it works. I will show you how it works. It's genius. Let's go to all the ores. I think I sold, and you'll still have, oh, iron and gold. Sweet. Oh, there's more. Let's just get more. I'm gonna pick them all up. Why not? Might as well just get them all done. Oh, there's more iron and ore. Sweet. Oh, I've got a whole stack of iron. Sweet. A stack and a half. Nice. Oh, I'm gonna make bank, aren't I? Almost 2 stacks of iron. You guys are absolutely knowing where this is going. I'm being over dramatic, but bear with me for the little second of picking all of these up. Because remember, I sold all of these and made barely anything. So obviously these are gonna this is the deciding factor, right? Smelter wand. This is what I should have done. What was I doing otherwise? Let's check it out. Let's go. Sweet. All right, let's just not do that. Boop. Cool. Let's just put all these in. Sweet. Smelter wand. I've just used it. I can't. No items in the container to be smelted. Ah, sweet. I've smelted all these iron and gold. Genius. Now all I have to do is sell them, right? Let's go get my sell wand. By the way, I have an infinite one. I've just used this one to smelt 358 of them. Boom. $18,000. This is supposed to be a... Oh, I'm going to show it. This is... I don't care. I'm throwing it away. I'm that, like... It's just... It's not my ultimate one, but still, like, this one's even just worse. And I won that. I was so mad when I won that. But, let's go to crates. You go to crates... You're going to your monthly. Oh, nice that it's only a condensed one in there, but there's a sell one. Oh, there you go. Smelter one, infinite. Who's happy after spending a monthly crate and getting that? You've got all the ranks. That's cool. Not a problem. This is a complete waste. And then you have it here. Oh, sweet. Condensed one. Smelter one. Oh, condensed one. Okay. Smelter one is absolutely horrible. And you have a almost 5% chance of getting it. Mob hoppers, crop hoppers. Either... Ugh. It goes back to the point that I've been making this whole session, and... the whole reason why I'm saying MC Hub has a balance issue. Great ideas. I love the ideas. I love the systems. Those are not the problem at all. The problem is they implement stuff and it's just not as effective. They're not thinking of the overall balance of things. They're not thinking of the systems that they're putting in place and how they impact one another, and they make it so everyone has to do the same thing. Everyone that's on IS Top, and I know because I've gone to every island on IS Top, most of them anyway, the top ones, they all have farms, they sort of have a spawner system, and that's it. They've got a guy that's AFKing, they're waiting, and then they're selling whenever it's available. Oh look, it's available right now. Might as well just get my money now, right? And that's pretty much it. So if all you're doing is this in circles, at what point do you have fun? What point are you... And this is a problem mostly for people that are wanting to work off of IS Top. Now, I'm going to... whatever, that's fine. I'm just going to do 2 times this time. Sell these all. Boop, boop, boop. course you're stuck up there again. So you... Let's go to hub, and a reminder again, go back to the hub, go back in to reset your boosters. Cool. Now, why is this an issue? If you... Would you happen to have an extra set of netherite armor I could buy off of you? I do. I have a grinder set. Boop, boop, boop. Here you go. Okay. And there's Undead. Woo! So, okay. Here's... Welcome, Undead. Woo! And I've got 2 more now. Okay, I'm just gonna put these back in the vault. So we're good. So here's the thing right now. Why is this a big deal? Well, because the issue right now is, what is there for people to do on MC Hub? One of the things that you have sometimes is actually, let me put that back up. You got island top. You get to see who's at the top. You can I think it's balance top, bow top. Oh, who has the most money? Cool. You can see who has the most money. That's great. There's sort of like a leaderboard type of thing. Is there shard top? Shards top. Let's see who has like the most shards. Oh no, 1 million. Cool. So you've got all of these going on, and there's this whole leadership thing. No worries. You're very welcome. So you have this sort of competition thing, and competition's fine. It's fun. And the problem is IS top is one of the key ones. And when that is the primary one and there's no other things to work off of, it's a lot harder to like get yourself challenged on stuff or what you want to be focused on. Now, this is why I love the mastery system that they have in place, or have some sort of like item basis of stuff, because then what you could do is start having a competition on certain items. Yes, that sounds very high pixel. Yes, maybe I want a potato war on MC Hub. Wouldn't you want to have something like that? I think that'd be great. Who wants to have cocoa beans? I want chocolate. I want sugar. So I think there's an opportunity to expand kind of like what you could have fun with. And then that could be like certain quests that you could do instead. Have a setup of quests to, make chocolate. Well, how do you make chocolate? Get cocoa beans, get sugar, I guess get wheat. So you can make cookies or something like that. And then have a competition of like who has the most of those combined items. Or have a competition on who has the most ores and stuff like that. There isn't that. The only thing that they have is who has the most currency, who has the most eco, and who has the highest island. And I think this is something that could be implemented, and it would help so much. Does that solve the balance problem? No. But this is something that could advance gameplay for Skyblock Sun. Could it be done similar for prisons? I don't know. That's a prison talk, and that's a whole different thing altogether at that point. With regards to Skyblock Sun, though, they've implemented so many awesome things. They're just not using it in an effective way. And it's kind of what is not horrible, but not great either. Someone brand new going on MC Hub, you're gonna have fun. I had fun. I loved building my little island. I loved expanding it. I loved at first you were able to spawn with a pet named Moo. I miss Moo. And you kind of had like just the simplicity of it, and that was fine. I don't mind that things got more complicated. I loved to showcase that you were able to play MC Hub without a problem. And there lies the issue. And Thorad basically beat me to it. MC Hub is a great server. You can get gold coins. They give you gold coins just for playing. You could vote. There's ways to have it. And then if you've played from the reset of Skyblock Sun, you could go to Prisons when it resets. You could go to Pixelmon if you have access to it through Java. And I mean, no one plays Survival. I don't know why it's still there. But for those that like Survival, you could go there. And the coins are interchangeable between those modes. And you could work on Prison to get coins for Skyblock Sun, to then go to Survival, to then buy the biggest Pokemon in Pixelmon, and so on and so forth. Great. Genius. It just needs to be balanced, and that's the biggest problem right now. MC Hub has a huge balance problem. And the balance problems right now stem from the fact that, well, they're still building out Pixelmon. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. They're working towards that. They've got a guy working on that. Prisons is good. They make some missteps here and there, but it's so far working itself out. And that's why I did a whole showcase of all of the different pickaxes, because you've at least got a goal. Like, you get one of the enchanted pickaxes skins, and then really get an ability going on, and then you could try to level up, and then prestige. So there's sort of that, which, why don't we have just a system of prestige on Skyblock Sun? Have it so that it's a little bit easier to reach a certain, to advance fast to get some stuff, and then do a prestige thing. Why not? That'd be fun. It'd give us reason to kind of reset things, redo things a little bit, and you'll get more reasons to move forward, and then maybe set it up in a way. I don't know. I wouldn't just jump onto these ideas right off the bat, because it would need to be matching the other systems that are in place and have it balanced. For those of you who are aware, and Morton and I have mentioned it over and over again, we used to test video games. We were in positions where we were dealing with clients on a regular basis, and this is stuff that we used to see all the time and would report that there's a balance issue. Things could be broken, or things are just not fair for the player. If you paid $70 to be on this server, and there was this big of a discrepancy, wouldn't you be mad? I know, because loads of people are always mad when it comes to those full-time games. And it's the same thing here. Yes, it's free though, and I think that's where there's a bit of a good point to it, is that, well, you can play it without spending any money, and that's great, and you can have a lot of fun with it. I just don't want MC Hub to suffer from it of their own accord, just because they're implementing too many things, but they're not balancing things. To recap, Mastery system this season, great. The recipe for the CBUs was great, but they've made it so that it's just not useful, and no one's using anything with it right now. Spawner system needs a balance as well. The grinders have not changed, and yet they've become absolutely not useful. You know what hasn't changed? Farmers. You know what's the most expensive items right now? Farmers. You know what makes the most? Farmers. So that's a lot of what's happening, is that everything that they've adjusted right now, miners, spawners, they haven't even touched grinders though, by the way. But it's a lot of stuff. Oh, okay. I forgot. Thank you for bringing it back up. So could you please go over the runes? I'm sorry if I missed. No. You're right. So I was looking into it, and the runes, all they do is make it so that there's a multiplier for the items, for the speed that you get in regards to spawners or in regards to collections. That's it. If you get one for cocoa beans, if you get ones for farming, if you get ones for spawners, so for the mobs, it is a multiplier for how fast you're going to get it. That's it. I was hoping that it would have been a multiplier for selling, for getting like more money. It's not. So you're working to get a rune shard from the PvE. I think it's the mobs for PvE. You'll either get a forestry, or a mob, or a farming or forestry mob. Yeah, those 4. And then you have 8 stacks of enchanted just to have the multiplier. It's not great. I don't know if there's anyone who's already done it on AH and I could show it again. I was shown it, and people, please stop this. I am so tired of seeing people. So you've got the forestry ruin here. You add it to it, and all it does is add a multiplier, and that's it. And it's not a sell multiplier either. So that's a bit of an issue right there. So worth it if I get them for spawners, not for farming though, right? More or less. Like, it'll help a little bit for the multiplier, for the drops from the mobs, and that's more or less it, right? Why are you up here, you silly monkey? Okay. Let's go to mastery though. Mastery. Do I have the... Oh, so polar bears are tier 2 now. Wither skeletons are tier 2, and I'm just pending on my zoglins. Sweet. For sure, thanks for clearing it. No, not a problem. And that's sort of a bit of the issue that's going on. Is that there's so many of these new things, and it's not clear. And it takes people like me who just like look into it and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll waste money and spend my shards, or I'll spend my credits, or I'll spend my coins just to see what's going on and see what's happening. And yeah, so smelter wallets are horrible. That could have just been added with the condense, and that would have been fair enough. All it's useful is for iron and gold ore. That's it. I think that's the only thing I would say on MC Hub that's made a very huge misstep, is that is just horrible. You should have just condensed it, and it would have automatically made like a gold bar, and that's it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You could have just did that. Yeah, that's more or less my whole discussion. I can't believe it took more or less an hour. But to recap all over again, I enjoy and I really like MC Hub, and I want it to succeed, but they're making a lot of balance issues. Not design issues, but balance issues with the designs that they're implementing, and they are just not working in the same way as they should. And I'm not someone who's just ranting because, oh, it's unfair. How come I'm ranked number 2? I'm not worried about that. I'm literally, and for those that have seen, I've reached rank number 2 or number 3, pretty much, if not rank number 1 a few times, several seasons now. From doing it from free, from doing it from buying coins, just every which way I've done it, and I've showcased it. I've shown that it's possible. Now, what needs to be back on track, though, like the freaking stream. Yeah, if you guys like all the information I've provided and all of the other videos, like, subscribe, that'd be great. Thanks, you boy Venoms. But yeah, it is a great server. It's fun to play in. It's a great, I would say, in between from those that are brand new servers, brand new Skyblock servers that are kind of like broken, to Hypixel, which is just way too complicated at this point. And then you've got these guys. Great ideas, great things going on. The combination of the different modes, as well as making it so you can go to one to the other and have at least a change of venue every so often when you want to go back and forth. But the balancing for Skyblock Sun specifically needs some work. And I'm really wanting to see that being improved. And I'd love, again, I have the experience, and I would love to talk to someone. And the most I can do is enter tickets, ask for explanation, provide my info. But if you guys have those type of issues as well and you're seeing them, please enter a ticket, show them, like, have screenshots or videos, and show to them. And if they have any issues, just like if they go and explain like why it's happening, just I don't mind. I would appreciate if you guys let me know. I'd like to track what I can, but I really yeah, enjoy your dinner, and thanks for triggering all of this, Thorad. So yeah, I was meaning to do this actual live stream for a bit, but Thorad just had me already ranting, so I figured I'd just go on it. MC Hub is great. I enjoy it. I have fun. I've been on it for a while, and it's kind of what the area where I've started my sort of YouTube career and the content that I'm doing. And I've already almost reached 1,000. I was about to say 10,000. I'm nowhere near 10,000. But I'm almost at 1,000, and I can't wait to continue moving forward with all of you guys on the different content. And I want to be able to not only have fun with everyone, but also be able to help where I can, because that's kind of my goal. I want to have a little bit of both and have the silliness as well with my sibling, Mort, which there's videos and content that's coming up as well with regards to that. And we're going to do a lot more live stuff together as well to kind of justify the Siblings Den moniker as much as possible as well. But yeah, there really needs to be a balance issue fixed up. I hope that this gets to the right people, and if it doesn't, that's fine. Thank you for listening. If you agree, leave a comment down below. If you disagree, leave a comment down below. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Also, don't hesitate to join the Discord channel. Let us know what you think, what kind of content you would like to see, what would you like us to test out, and we'll be glad to show it to you. What I'm going to aim to do right now is finish up my my waste of shards on a pickaxe with Shard Collector, and I'll have a bit of an update on that. But essentially, don't use Shard Collector. It's just not worth it. Maybe if they balance the things out later, it'll be better. But right now, it's not worth it at all. Don't even bother. And yeah, let's see where things go from there, and just have fun. If you're someone who likes designing stuff, let me know. I would love to do an island showcase. So if you've got an island that's just been destroyed and rebuilt completely, and it's a giant Pikachu robot, it's a big, like, just towers and stuff like that, let me know. I'd love to showcase those. So go into the Discord channel, let us know in the Skyblock Sun section if you have an island to showcase, and I would love to do that. And it'd be great to see the more artistic people and the design people showcase their stuff, and I'd be glad to show it out. But I think this is a good wrap-up point. I think this is a good section to talk about balances without being overwhelming. 1 hour is still a lot. So thank you very much, everyone. Like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys a lot. And don't hesitate to take a look at the other videos. We're going to be doing an updated one for quests to finish out and round out the quest ones. And we still have the pending Origins mod video that's coming out this week, hopefully. And more shorts, more funnies. Yeah. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Thank you very much, everyone. Thorad, your boy Venoms. Who else was it? Ultimate B, Niku, Oliver, Jenny Peel, Waylon Lee, all you guys. Thank you very much. One tap down. Yo, have a good one. Ciao.